Welcome back to Pop Tabs, keeping tabs on all your pop culture news. I'm your host, Matthew Yapp, and joining me today is...
Daley Wilhelm.
And...
Sarah James.
Yay! Sarah, your hair looks good.
Thank you.
It looks
I'm
fresh.
a fan.
You know what I'm a fan of?
Yes.
The Oscars.
Hey.
Not actually, but it was a nice transition.
It worked.
So yeah, the Oscars are happening, and if you don't know, the Oscars are an award show. They do all that stuff.
If
get
you
the
don't know what the
gist.
Oscars are, what?
Hey, Sarah, I like to go for every demographic. Some
Okay.
people are stupid, and that's okay. So yeah, the Oscars are happening, and just right off the bat, nomination-wise, what are you guys most excited about? What do you want to win? What do you really not get being there? Daley.
Personally, as the host of the Animation 18 podcast, which you should definitely check out here at bytebsu.com. Plug. Anyway,
All the plugs.
the animated movies,
No.
none of them, well,
Coco's there.
Coco's there, but 2017 saw Koi no Katachi, A Silent Voice, which was an incredible, beautiful film about living with deafness, and then Your Name, which just revolutionized movies, because after Ghibli stopped making films, everyone was like, oh, we're never going to have that amazing movie again. But Your Name was amazing. Neither of them are on the list. But you know what is on the list?
What?
Boss Baby and Ferdinand the Bull, John Cena the Bull.
Oh, is that John Cena?
That's John Cena.
See, that's why I didn't see that movie, is because I can't see him.
Thanks for having me. I'm just gonna go now.
But no, I don't. Listen, I get that is not amazing like these other things, but those also I would kind of contribute to publicity because I've literally never heard of those movies. And I think what part of it also is Boss Baby did very successfully. It made $500 million. It was produced by Pixar, which is a super successful thing. So
It
I
wasn't
don't.
a Pixar movie.
Wasn't it? DreamWorks,
No,
my bad.
DreamWorks, yeah.
Still,
No, Coco's
very,
a Pixar
very successful studio. We've gotten stuff in the past, and so it makes sense to me that it's there. I never personally saw it, so I can't say whether it's good or not. But it made a lot of money, so it's probably not awful. So yeah. I'm not surprised that it's there, and I don't have a problem with it being there.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said for the effect of campaigning and more of a global audience than Your Name and Koi no Katachi, more aimed for they didn't try. They were just here's this movie, you speak about it to your friends and go ahead
Beautiful.
and talk about that versus on a global scale, hey, we need awards, please, because that's not usually how Japan does things. But 2001, they did it right, Spirited Away. Best animated feature.
Is that the last time Japan's gotten an Oscar?
Maybe. I can't speak to that, but it's last time a Japanese animated movie did, so.
That about that one plane one that everyone freaked out about, the Studio Ghibli fellow?
I think it was nominated, yeah.
Good for
'cause
him.
It was going to be the last Miyazaki film, but he will not stay in retirement. He's just okay, I'm retiring this time. Just kidding. I'm going to come back. No, really this time.
This is for real.
But I want to make this movie.
He knows how to get the hype, because
just
every
has
time
all these
people are
ideas.
this is the last Miyazaki movie, so
He can't stop coming up with genius.
Fun
He
fact.
just can't stop that.
Fun little Yapp fact that I hope does not come across wrong. I used to think Miyazaki was the dude who ran Nintendo. Because I was a child, and I heard a Japanese name, and I was not exposed to the world very well, and so I was like, oh, Japanese, that's a Pokemon. So
Obviously.
So-
Japan
Up
is
there.
Pokemon.
pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
So any you're excited for, though?
I would probably say Shape of Water. Even though I haven't seen it, I'm so
I'm gonna-
angry.
I got you.
I love the idea of it's a monster movie, but it's not, because it actually winds up being more of a romance. And it also just stars people that you don't usually see being front and center. You have someone with a disability, you have a black woman.
You have a fish.
You have a fish. Finding Nemo was the last one to do it, guys. But I just think the whole concept is really exciting, and I love all of Guillermo del Toro's work.
Yeah. What's it called? It's a little weird for me, and I get that it's very artsy and beautiful, but I don't know, I can't get past, they talk about fish penis so long. I just can't get past that. Which I'm sure there's a beautiful message in there somewhere. But for me, it's blocked by the gills and wondering where it comes from. But Sarah, what are you excited for and hate?
I'm also disappointed by the animated movie nominations, I wish that Lego Batman was up instead of Boss Baby,
I can
because
agree
I
with that.
feel like if you're gonna pull the whole publicity or it made a lot of money, I don't know which movie made more money, but Lego Batman was good.
Apparently, in even animated form, the Oscars hate superheroes.
Apparently, who knows? But I was also a little upset about the makeup nominations, makeup and costume design. Specifically special effects makeup, because I love special effects makeup and there really wasn't anything. There were 3 movies in the category and I looked at them, I'm like, but there's nothing there. And horror movies will never get nominated for an Oscar, but it had fantastic practical effects. Pennywise was pretty much entirely practical. The leper guy that is Eddie's main fear, that was a practical effect.
Really?
Yeah, that was a prosthetic that actor was wearing. That's amazing practical effect makeup. So I'm disappointed that that industry isn't really loved by Hollywood anymore.
Yeah,
But
CGI is kind of doing it in.
I know, but practical effects, I just think there's so much, it's such an art to it, and it's...
For example.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it also creates a more real experience for the actors, so you get a better performance out of them.
Yeah.
For it, seeing Pennywise in that makeup and attacking those kids were terrified in that moment of acting.
And it just shows that Mr. Pennywise went through a lot of effort to go into all that every day. That takes a lot of work. I don't know his name. Mr. Pennywise.
Mr. Pennywise. He's just sitting in front of the mirror, applying his foundation. Gotta get the whole lipstick.
The forehead is actually correct to size.
It's
They didn't change anything.
Beautiful
with that.
lip liner, that just comes all the way up. Yes, it's very, very chic. I think.
Very chic.
But I am excited about all the nominations that Get Out got.
Get Out's
it's up
good.
it was my favorite movie of 2017, not just because it's an extremely diverse cast, but the concept, or what's the word I'm thinking for?
The concept?
Maybe concept? I don't know.
The idea behind it's unique.
It's they tackled racism in such an interesting and thought-provoking way, where it's they're throwing it in your face, but it's also subtle at the same time, and it's really, really well done. And
I like that we're not calling it a comedy in the Oscars either.
Yes, that is also appreciated. It's up for Best Picture, which is an insane honor, and then Daniel Kaluuya, who is the main actor, who was phenomenal, is up for Best
really
Actor,
good.
and then Jordan Peele is up for Best Director and Original Screenplay. And I'm like, yes, Jordan Peele, because I think that's a huge testament to him
It is.
as a creator.
Well, because this was his first go.
It was his first time writing and directing a movie, and people usually just see him as half of Key and Peele. And in the past, I love both Key and Peele pretty much equally, but when it comes
Key and
to
Peele?
yeah,
I thought it was Kean. That was
Key.
Key and Peele. Oh, wow.
Keegan Michael Key and then Jordan Peele.
I am learning so much today.
Key and Peele.
Okay.
They're usually seen as this comedy duo, and in the past, when it comes to Hollywood and making movies, Keegan has done a lot more acting work and has been more involved in stuff, whereas Jordan hasn't. And so for him to enter this world with his directorial debut and first time writing a movie, and for him to be up for Oscars for it, I think is fantastic.
Yeah. I think Get Out deserves all the praise it's getting. But what's going to win Best Picture is going to be Lady Bird. Because Lady Bird is the best thing that happened in 2017. It's so good.
I never saw it. But I
It's
want
so
to.
good. I've
heard
never
really good
seen a
things.
movie that has felt so completely authentic. There was never a non-genuine moment throughout that entire movie. Nothing ever felt heavy-handed, because they tackle some really heavy topics, but the way throughout the movie that she almost refuses to take anything seriously, because it very much is this it's a coming-of-age story, and it's this dumb teenage girl who's whatever, these very real and realistic issues that my mom faces about being middle class and not being able to provide enough, not for me, because I'm gonna live a high life. And I'm gonna be better than everyone in this stupid town.
Crosstalks.
And it's so ridiculous, because that's kind of a concept that's been done before, but I've never seen it portrayed so realistically. Because there's part of it that I think a lot of people really relate to, that when you start humbly, that your whole life you think, I can do better than that. And it's not an arrogant thing, it's just something that you hope for yourself, and I've never seen it be portrayed so well. Also, Greta Gerwig is up for Best Director as well. And Miss Lady Bird, whose name I know
have
her name,
written
I can't
down.
pronounce
It's
it. Yeah.
yeah.
It's Cerise.
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 I'm not sure.
I love you, Miss Ladybird.
I saw this on, I think, Facebook today. She's only 23 and has been nominated for like 3 Oscars.
She's
Oh my
great.
gosh.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
I see her face quite a bit.
Like,
I just
that's-
can never say her name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's great. But no, something that's slightly more controversial though, because some people are happy and some people are angry. Casey Affleck was going to be presenting Best Actress to her because she's going to win it. And Casey Affleck, because it's tradition that the Best Actor presents Best Actress.
Who won the year before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who
It's
made
like-
that
it's-
decision?
Well-
It's like the people, so it's like Best Actor and Best Actress from the year before
Yeah,
present
they
to
present
the opposite.
next year.
Okay.
But so something that happened though is very recently, like last night, he announced that he will not be presenting because of the accusations out against him right now. Rather, what's really unclear is whether the Oscars told him you're not or if he said I'm not. So I lean slightly more towards the Oscars saying it because also what the Oscars didn't do was nominate James Franco.
Yeah,
So I
which is
personally,
interesting.
do you guys think they're doing it out of like we want justice, or do you think they're doing it out of we don't want to protest at our event? Because
I
I
don't
think,
know.
no offense, Oscars, but I think they're doing it as a PR thing, and not necessarily that they don't believe in the accusations. It's just that's how Hollywood works. Like they don't care; they just want to make sure that they're getting the most profitable thing.
Yeah, I feel like the Oscars have had to do a lot of like damage control over the
Yeah.
past few years, and it can kind of be heavy-handed in the way that they deal with that because it's like we had Oscars So White for like 2 years in a row, and then like last year there were a lot of people of color nominated in a lot of different categories, and like Moonlight won Best Picture over La La Land, which featured a bunch of white people. So like
La La Land sucks.
I agree. But so maybe this is just like, since the big story, one of the big things that happened throughout all of 2017, it was like the Time People of the Year was all the sexual harassment charges. So maybe they're just like, okay, we don't want to have a hand in this. And I feel like it's more of like a PR cover-up
Yeah.
thing than like the Oscars actually standing up for what is right.
No, I agree. I mean, look at the nominations. They only nominated women for Best Actress. That's up. Like,
How dare they?
you know, there's someone out there who like stands by that though. They're like, God, SJW feminazis. I'm over it. But no, because we did see this is the 5th time in history a woman has been nominated for Best Director, and the 5th time in history a black person's been nominated for Best Director. And so we did see more diversity in the casting. And it's hard to ever say, is that because they earned that spot, which I think they did,
Right.
or is it because the Oscars are recognizing them because they don't want a fiasco?
Yeah, I really want to say that I think their work definitely speaks for itself
Yes.
to put them in that position to be nominated. But at the same time, they are definitely trying to clean up some of their PR, but I really don't want to say pandering because every time that a woman or a person of color is nominated for something, everyone's
They're
like,
being
that's pandering.
Yeah.
You're just trying to be diverse, be super PC and all that, but it's like, no, they've more than earned that, and I think people in the past have earned that, but instead they were like, well, we're gonna go with this white person because that's
yeah.
what's come to be expected.
I would say I don't think it's necessarily that they didn't earn the spots, because they definitely did. I think the Oscars starting to finally recognize.
Yeah,
is what's
because the entire
changed.
situation is systemic. Of like
Someone pop up the definition right here from Matt
systemic.
later. Systemic.
It's a part of the system.
Okay.
Get it? Okay, so it's because like there's racism in Hollywood, because there is, friends. If you didn't know, Hollywood can be racist and also
And
very
rapey.
misogynistic. So it's because like in the past there have only been like black people weren't allowed to even make movies or to star in movies. So it's like
can be
that's-
made.
Like that's all of a sudden
The help.
Yeah, really.
in like the past like 50 years really, like minorities have stepped up and been finally allowed to like make their own movies, but it's still not, they won't get the funding, they won't get the celebrities to star in stuff. Like you're not gonna get the Tom Hanks and the Meryl Streeps, like they're in the post for a reason instead of like a minority based film because
Yeah.
they're the actors that they are.
Yeah.
So it's like they're already behind but still creating great work, and so it's like I think it's fine to recognize that. I don't think it's pandering. It's
Yeah.
just the entire situation is systemic as to like why there aren't as many options
I hope
to
I
choose
hope they
from,
do put the
of,
definition up there, and it's just like it's another word for like blue or something, and you're just like totally wrong about that because I've never heard systemic, but that's not the point.
Like systemic racism.
Yeah.
Y'all are,
I'm
guys
gonna
go to,
Google
greater
it.
system.
you guys go to college. Don't Google it. Get off your phone on my show. We're moving on. Sarah's upset me because she upset me with her technology because in technology news. Yeah, Amazon's doing some stuff.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
As usual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're being the richest company. They made a new store in Seattle called Amazon Go, and basically it is a store with no cashiers or cash registers. So it's not like self-checkout because you just download an app and then you put stuff in your basket, and then you can just leave. It'll charge you.
Bye.
Magic.
Bye.
It's magic.
So some people are really into this. They think this is the future. Automated stores, basically. Do you guys? What do you think? What's your thoughts?
I guess my big question was like, are non-automated stores a problem? Like, is this something that people like actively complain about? Like, I hate it when I have to interact with someone to pay for my things, and it's like, okay, self-checkout. I hate it when I have to interact with a machine to buy my purchases, and it's like, okay, then just walk out. Like, I don't know where that's become like a thing.
Yeah,
like,
I've never heard anyone.
It feels like, sure, this is the future, but like this is more like the far future. Like when we think about like flying cars and stuff, we're just not going to like interact with anything in order to purchase things.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't see a need for it because I am a cashier.
Yes, you are.
I am a cashier, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not good at my job. I'm very bad at my job. And so I get the idea of some people not wanting to deal with some stupid teenager who like hates his job and hates his life being there, like messing up how many nails they've like just scanned for you. I'm sorry, guys. They're small. They roll over the thing. It happens. Leave me alone. But so like I'm getting out wanting to deal with a cashier, but like self-checkout's fine. Like I don't see a need. I've never heard anyone have a desire to be like, I want to be able to walk in and walk straight back out.
Yeah. If this is trying to like account for human error too, now there's just going to be, because a lot of people have said like I could just walk out with this and it's just gonna accidentally like skip the scan or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's ways to go
Oh,
around
yeah.
whatever system they
Yeah.
have in place.
I don't know if you like just don't download the app. Can it charge you? Because like.
Does the alarm go off
I-
then?
yeah,
And then they're
I
like,
looked
well,
at-
I paid for this.
No, I looked into it and like because I kept like
You have
checking.
to like scan your phone on your way in.
Yeah.
Right?
And so no, I looked into it. I was like, so if someone just like walks in and they don't have the app on their phone, like I don't think like a sensor or anything is gonna go off. Can they still just like kind of walk in? Or like if you delete the app when you're in the store? There's so many questions I have.
Or like children, like are you gonna be like, hey, 5-year-old? Like people are gonna start hiring 5-year-olds to just be like, oops,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just to wander in
Yeah.
aimlessly and grab things and then bring them back.
But yeah, no,
It's gonna be a whole syndicate.
I'll say, yeah.
Of toddlers.
Well, actually, on its
Crime
opening day, a bunch of people were going, and one of the reporters there, like they were doing a story on it, and they left, and they like contacted Amazon. They were like, "Hey, I was checking my bill, and I got this like thing of yogurt that you guys just didn't charge me for," and that was like day one
Yeah.
with like just the press and stuff, and Amazon was like, "You can keep the yogurt because that's such a
so
small
rare.
and rare margin of error that we're not even going to account for. That totally could never happen." When I feel like Amazon was like, we look so bad right now. Because like there's no, in my mind, there's no way that this incredibly impossible, they said they've never even seen this problem before, just so happens to
Oh, yeah,
happen
on
day one.
Never.
Just never
Never.
before.
Never.
Your
Never
yogurt
could've
is
accounted for it.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, in the long run, though, I feel like Amazon could just open up like a physical store and have people just take things out of it without paying, and they would never lose money on that because it's Amazon. Like
Yeah.
everything is bought through Amazon these days, and they're doing like drone delivery and things like
See,
that.
I'm more into that.
Yeah.
Like, the Amazon, is it called like Amazon Marketplace or something like that, where you can like order groceries and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
through
yeah.
Amazon? Yeah, like,
You're like Alexa.
if the whole point
guys.
of the automated store is to like minimize as much human interaction as possible, which like I'm totally into, because I hate shopping. I hate having to interact with people. So it's like I usually do self-checkout. I'm a self-checkout kind of girl. But like,
Thanks for putting me out of a job, Sarah. I'm just trying to pay my bills. It's
I'm
chill.
sorry. I don't shop at Menards.
You shouldn't. Don't show. Oh my! No one at work likes me anyways. They can see this.
Okay. But like, I'm more into if I can just order everything I ever need online and then it will arrive to my doorstep. Like, that sounds like the future I'm into. Like, I don't want to have to drive, get in my car, and like put on jeans and shoes. Like, I'd rather just chill in my house in pajama pants and press a button on my laptop and then get food that way.
That's my thing too. Is
That
like,
sounds so
I
much
don't think
nicer.
people's issue with like going out to like a store, because some people don't like cashiers. I don't think the problem has ever been like, oh, I don't want to go be around people. I think the problem is I don't want to go out. So like
Yeah,
Amazon
that's
just.
sometimes when you're like still in bed and then you realize like, oh no, I need toothpaste, and then it's like you have to put on clothes and then get in a car and drive there and deal with
I'll say,
traffic
if, like-
and bad drivers, and then like walk into Walmart and the Walmart greeter's like, hi, welcome to Walmart, and you're just like, shut up, and then you're like wander around, have to find the cheapest
Do you ever feel bad about
toothpaste.
being rude to? Because you're just like.
Oh, I ignore the Walmart greeter.
I
every
always
time.
feel
I'm
bad.
sorry.
I like step back. I'm like, hi. Like, I'm sorry. No,
No,
if like
you're just like, welcome to Walmart, and I'm like, don't talk
if
to me,
wanting
don't talk
to
me, don't
go
talk to me.
things is here and like motivation's here, my depression's like right there. So like I can't go places. Like it doesn't work for me
I
in
hate
the
it.
slightest.
So I'd rather just order stuff online. I'm
Amazon.
way more into that than like
Yeah.
not dealing with cashiers.
So,
Cashiers
yeah.
are people. Like, I don't mind.
We're bad.
Like,
But no, that's also, if you're ever nervous about talking to a cashier, we are so zoned out, we will forget about you the second you step away, I promise.
I think about those interactions like a lot. I'm like, they'll be like, okay, enjoy like your food, and it's like, you too.
oh yeah, when
You too.
People
I'm
like,
no.
people like will like
Why this?
do the stupidest stuff around me, like they'll like be carrying things and just drop everything, and like that, or they'll say like stupid stuff like that, and literally the second they're gone, I'm like,
you
like,
go
I-
home that night and it's like, okay.
like I'll
I
never,
don't
and then
remember anyone I
I've had
talked
people like
to.
come back in and like, you remember when I did this thing? I was like, no, I don't. For
don't.
all I know, you've never been
I
in this
will
store.
think about that for weeks. Like
Me
I will
too.
be like,
I've never
too, I
remembered a
never
face.
that person.
I have messed up.
I've never remembered a face at Menards, except for like people who like scream at me for 2 hours. Those guys are fun.
That leaves an impression.
That leaves an impression.
Yeah,
People who
yeah.
spit on you.
No, yeah, because I put like I put them on a dartboard.
There
like,
you go. That's how it's
From
done.
like the security tapes, just like a
I
really
go
grainy
get them and
printout.
Boom. Just like this grainy black and white picture of
Oh,
this
yeah.
customer.
But no, that does bring us to our the like last bit of this little segment, which is: do you guys think this is the future? Or was this Amazon just trying something that's not going to pan out?
I mean, it's kind of like a big old PR stunt. Like, we're talking about it. People are certainly going to continue to talk about it. And
I'm going to go
especially
home and buy from Amazon.
Yeah, especially as issues come up with the physical store. Like, what happens if someone tries to rob the store? Like, I guess that's one thing. You can't if we're worried about, like, crime and robberies in that sense. But I think this is a little too into the future, the same way, like, Nintendo tried to do, like, VR.
Virtual
like,
Boy back in the
with
90s.
the Virtual Boy.
Way.
Like, they just needed to wait a
I
couple
always
more
wanted a
decades.
Virtual Boy.
So I feel like Amazon's gotta wait a couple more decades
Yeah.
before that really catches on. I might go one day. I would totally do that.
You
just
would
to
Amazon
see.
go?
I would Amazon go.
I
Hey.
go, it's the name of the store. You guys see what I did? I'm smart. Sarah, things isn't failing.
I mean, I don't know if it's a thing of the future. I just think it's a thing that no one asked for, but Amazon did it anyway, and that's about it.
Like this show, no one wanted this, but here I am every week.
It's almost a spectacle. Like, I would probably also.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be a
stop in
tourist
and just
thing.
and be like, ooh, look at this, and then I'm interested in the technology itself of like, how does
Yeah.
it know what things you get? Is it like the special bag that you use, or is it like sensors in the food that like your app realize? I'm interested in the technology, and that's about it. But like, I don't need that. I'd rather just order it online.
No, I don't see it going anywhere like for other stores. I think this one
Yeah.
will probably stay open almost just as a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't see, maybe Amazon will open more. I just don't see the success of them opening more. And I definitely don't see like everyday stores like going over to this. Speaking of everyday, it's everyday, bro, because Logan Paul, son, he's back. That I felt good about that one.
That was good. That
Thank
was
you.
decent. I'll give you
So, I think me always commenting on my transitions might dampen my transitions.
maybe a little.
Who's to say? But Logan Paul, your boy, he's back.
Oh goodness.
So, if you guys don't know, he filmed a dead body and then posted. What a guy. Then posted it and put the dead body in the thumbnail and then he posted like he had to post 2 apologies because his first one was so bad.
And then with a hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag #LowGang for life or something like that. But like, he's a guy, but that's not what we're talking about today.
He's a guy.
Which even that's debatable. But like,
he's not my guy, but he's a
what
guy.
we're talking about today is he's returned and he has made a new video called Be Here Tomorrow, and it's about how you shouldn't kill yourself despite the fact that he'll push in a video if you do. And he's pledged to donate $1 million to suicide prevention, which that part's commendable. So what we're talking about today is how square is his face? Because I'm going like full box.
It's
like that's
complete. It's absolutely.
If you guys had to
square.
compare it to his shape, where would you go?
I mean, it's
No, that's not the question.
Okay.
Don't answer that.
Cereal box.
Cereal box. No, do you guys think that he's actually learned his lesson, or once again, is this just a PR thing?
Okay, so I totally believe that people should be allowed to move on from mistakes and learn from their ignorance.
My
and
parents deserve to
continue
move on from me. They really do.
No, but, and I think the internet very much doesn't allow you to do that because your record of like messing up is forever there, always.
Yes.
So I want to think that he's learned from this and is moving on, but at the same time, there was so little like actually incentivizing him to learn from this and become a more sensitive person because he made money off of this. We're all talking about him now.
He's gained subscribers.
He's gained subscribers. There's very little to punish his controversy. Like, so why shouldn't he do something crazy again?
Which, not to be the one, but I'm gonna be the one. He issued his apologies and he's taken a step back from YouTube, but he didn't start this campaign and the pledge to end suicide prevention until YouTube took him off of the YouTube preferred ad tier list, which makes a lot of money. And they haven't canceled it, but they halted production on his YouTube Red movie, The Thinning 2, something like that.
There's a second one.
Something stupid. You get even thinner. Like, I don't know. I didn't care to watch the first one.
I don't have YouTube Red, so.
It goes from like the thinning to the skinning.
Only smart people can survive, and I don't know why he's in that movie then, but
Is that
just
what
to
it's
be
about? 'Cause
real.
he's thinking pretty high of himself.
Yeah, it's like in America, only the top % of people that can pass like intelligence tests are allowed to live there, and
Thank
you will be
God,
killed
presidential
otherwise.
re-election. I'm hyped. Like,
It's the purge, except a little different.
But
a little different.
based on smarts instead of like who has the coolest.
Is that why he's the main character? Is he's like a dumbass and he's just trying
He's
to
like
survive?
the president's son, I think, at least from the
Oh,
trailers.
okay.
And it's like, Dad, you have to do something about this. And it's like, I'm sorry, son. And then it cuts to him making a speech about like, we are the best country because only the smartest people live here. What happens to the dumb ones? Shh.
That's China.
Ship
Like,
him off to
At this point.
an island somewhere.
I don't
Live.
know. There were SWAT
Go.
teams.
But so yeah, they got rid of that movie. Was what we were going for there. Is they got rid of the sequel to that, and so yeah, I don't. He maybe he cared, but he definitely didn't care as much until YouTube hit him in the pocket. What do you think, Sarah?
I actually wrote a feature about this.
Whoa,
You can check
check
it
right
out
here.
On Byte
Or down there, probably.
Yeah.
It can be over here too.
Basically, I was impressed by his video at first, the one that he posted a couple days ago, because he does seem genuine, and I do, to a point, like I do think that he feels bad for what he did. I think the situation that Logan Paul is going through right now was inevitable because both Logan and Jake Paul fuel off of controversial situations. They know that the way that YouTube's algorithm works is that if they make a video, regardless of like if they get good press or bad press, it's going to get millions and millions of views. They know that their posse of 10-year-old subscribers.
Is that what Team 10 means? Because I've genuinely never
They're
known.
like children. It's like 10 to 12-year-olds is mostly their demographic. So they're setting examples to kids, very impressionable kids, who will stand by them regardless of what they do. Like, oh my gosh, if you go to the Be Here Now video that he posted this week, like there are comments. I saw this comment that was like, this video is awesome, but why did we have to criticize Logan in the first place when people are out there like raping and killing people? Don't be mad at Logan, be mad at North Korea. And I'm like, what? That is not the point.
I hope there's was like North Koreans who were like, why are we mad at Kim Jong-un?
my God.
And like, Logan
mad
Paul
at
is
Logan
out there.
Controversial opinion. We can be mad at both of them
Oh my, what?
Y'all
at the
just-
same time.
I don't think that's
Simultaneously.
correct.
Calm down. That's too much.
And
Sorry,
this,
guys.
yeah, that's not correct, and I'd love to see a source for that sometime. But anyways,
I'm interested to see like how long is it going to take until Logan Paul is back at it with his usual shenanigans. Like if he
'Cause that's
takes
the
this
thing,
as a learning moment and like moves forward and wants to be an advocate for mental health, like I'm here for it because any advocate for mental health is great. 1, 2, someone with his fan base and amount of following, like having a voice out there to be like, hey, mental illness is a thing and we should talk about it. I'm okay with that. If it furthers the conversation for mental health overall, I think it's a good thing. It's sad that he had to like
put a
post a video with a dead person in it to like realize this lesson. But I do think part of me is like, yes, that was stupid and insensitive, but he was also like really ignorant of the situation.
I don't think it's just the
So-
situation though, because that's my biggest thing about it is it wasn't just that, you know, he posted this video and this was the first time he'd ever messed up. He's been a the
Oh,
whole
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Can I say oh, they bleep me anyways. But no, like he has been a douche the entire time, and even just the rest of the Japan vlog that like the videos came out later,
he was
it
really
was him like
insensitive.
running around, banging gongs, throwing Pokeball at just people on the street. Pokeball, that was a very old man thing to say.
Not a Pokeball.
He was throwing Pokeball, but yeah,
Pokeball.
like
He's Pokeballing. You
And
might say.
I might not. But like it's just he's always been an annoying person, and that's the thing is he hasn't apologized for anything else. And so his family didn't hold him accountable. His dad made a video. It was like, my son, he doesn't get held down by the haters. You just dab on him, blah,
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah. And
That's-
Jake was like, yeah, Logan does stuff. And he learned. I used to be on Disney. I've never heard him speak, so I'm going with displays.
Like-
But like none of them, yeah, like none of his family, none of the people close to him actually was like, no, Logan, that's wrong. The only reason he did this is because YouTube was like, hey, we'd like our money back. Like
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he took his video down
before YouTube.
before
did,
YouTube.
yes.
Like YouTube didn't take down his video.
Which
Logan
speaks-
did. Like, and
Yeah.
it was after he received a bunch of backlash. After a bunch of people were like, "Hey, you should probably not feature a suicide victim in your thumbnail." And he was like,
Debatable.
I guess, and then decided to take it down. So, like, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to hold himself accountable, but
I personally won't believe it unless his contrition is consistent. That's my
Y'all,
phrase.
y'all using words. What's contrition? Ugh.
He's like sad about it.
Okay.
He regrets it.
I don't know what contrition
yeah, because if all of
means.
a sudden in like 3 weeks,
Oh, it'll be back.
like it's
I'm
just
positive.
more prank videos, like
I'm positive it'll
then-
be back.
he's not helping anyone.
No.
But I do think the video that he put out was like well made, and he did research.
Because he's got money. 'Cause,
Yeah.
he
No,
doesn't do. He
It
just
was
is
a
annoying on
well-made
camera,
video,
and people pay him
and if it
for it.
furthers the conversation about suicide awareness, then like maybe it was a good
No,
thing.
I just think it's not fair because he's annoying and awful on video, and he gets money, and I do that, and I get nothing, and I'm tired of it. But what are your guys' thoughts on any of the closing arguments today? Closing arguments? That's not correct. What are your thoughts on any of the topics today?
We live in the future, and that's cool, except for Logan Paul. That's not cool. And his head is very square. You are
Super
correct.
square.
You are.
He's a
and
very
I don't
square
understand his
face.
haircut either.
No.
It's been consistent in how weird it is. So
Well,
at
it
least
was
he's
long,
got that.
and now he cut it all off, and that was also like people were commenting.
Well, I'm
not
cutting
on
this show off. And now go.
Cut. It's done.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I wanted to cut right there.
Okay.
Or not. That was Biting Questions. I'm Matthew Yapp. Joining me today was.
It was what? What show are we on?
It's my show now. It's Biting Questions.
Biting Questions is the other show, and I'm having a long day. And this is Pop Tabs. I'm Matthew Yapp. Daley was here, so was Sarah. Goodbye.
We're here for you.
Welcome back to Pop Tabs. I'm your
Almost. We'll get it eventually.
one day. I got it once. It's fine.